नमस्ते and सत श्री अकाल. Talk with Jina, जिंदगी की हर बात Jina के साथ. So today we have another amazing personality with us. He is a real estate agent, a very well-known personality in our Edmonton community. None other than Mr. Naam Kular. Did I pronounce it right, Naam?
That's right, it's Naam Kular.
Naam Kular.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so welcome to our show. And Naam, when I heard that name, I thought it was such a unique and cool name. Is there a meaning to it?
My full name is Namandeep Kular. So really my name is Naman. So in Sanskrit or in Hindi it means kisi ko naman karna. Mm-hmm. So that's the meaning of it. And when I came to Canada, Naman was kind of tough to pronounce and shorten it even more. So it came out with Nam. Since my childhood friends, and then it's been Nam and Nam, stuck with it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, and I just wanted to know the meaning behind it, because when I heard it, I was like, wow, that's a very fascinating name. And sometimes you don't get to hear names like such as that, and it has such a beautiful meaning as well. So
yes, it does. And I wasn't aware of it. I met another real estate agent who told me that that's the meaning of it. So I hope it is right.
We'll go with that. I think it's a fantastic meaning, and
thank you.
We're very pleased that you shared with us. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
My pleasure. So where are you originally from? Are you originally from Edmonton? No?
Yes and no. I do. When somebody asks me when I'm traveling, yes, Edmonton is my home. I've been here for 23, 24 years, since 95. But I am originally from Punjab in India. Wow. So I came here as a kid in 95. But yes, I like to call myself an Edmontonian. I like to call myself that I'm from Edmonton, yes.
Yes, amazing, amazing. And why did you decide to make Edmonton your home?
It's people ask, and this is where destiny has led me to be. This is where my community, my home, meant to be. So as a kid, when we came to Canada with my parents, this is where we settled. This is where my family was, and then grew up here, went to school here, played soccer, coached, and here we are, and that's it's become my home. This is where destiny led me.
Amazing. Yeah. And something I noticed about us Edmontonians, I've pretty much lived all my life in Edmonton as well.
Yeah.
We always associate with our communities. We say, oh, we're from South Side. Oh, we're from the North Side. So when it comes to you, Edmonton is home where?
Millwoods. So it obviously, so people, this is the older part of Edmonton, the Millwoods. So when you tell people, hey, you're from Northside or whatever, even, so everybody knows that when you tell somebody, hey, I'm from Millwoods, they know, okay, the South Side, this is where you grew up.
Yeah.
This was a small niche community back when we came. Now, obviously, the South Side of Edmonton has grown. Millwoods of Edmonton is now in the middle of Edmonton, because there's Summerside, there's Sellersville, exactly.
Yeah.
So Millwoods was the original South Side of Edmonton, and this was the boys' hood back in the day, Millwood.
Yeah, and I can tell you, many years ago, I used to live in Millwoods areas, and now I work in Millwoods area. So when I go around the communities, it's just expanded so well and so beautifully. Yeah, so that's a fantastic area that like I said, I work in Millwoods area, and every time I come, there's absolutely something new being built. There's expansion, and things have become so convenient.
It's phenomenal. Yeah, the original area, what Millwoods was, it's been developed so well now with the LRTs coming there, the bus stops. Yeah. Obviously, the easy access to Anthony Henday from 50th Street. It's especially with the Millwoods Town Center, that was kind of becoming really dead, but now they've redeveloped it. It's become very lively.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I think LRT is such an amazing idea. It just makes it a very nice connection point to all the different central areas in Edmonton.
I drive around all day long. To drive in a rush hour from Southside to the universities, to Nate, to downtown, it's such an ease to get on the bus or get on the LRT. Within 10-15 minutes you're there. Otherwise, in a bus, if you're not, you're stuck in traffic, and you're killing a lot of time and wasting energy.
And we all know about the Edmonton's traffic and constructions and things like that. So they tell you a date. So do you think, when are we going to expect that LRT up and running?
You know, you never do, because what happens is that then you expand to the next step. You expand. I mean, we're a small city. We're always expanding. So I think once we get to Millwoods, then we're probably going to want to go to Beaumont. We're going to want to go to the airport. So it's never going to be done. As the city progresses, as more population growth happens, you know, we're going to need more construction. We're going to need more infrastructure. So it's a never-ending thing.
Yes. So what are your piece of advice for people who are like stuck in traffic and they get frustrated and they need to get to their job? What would be something to?
Maybe put your show on podcast so people can listen to the podcast, turn the radio on, get these things. You know, you got the social media in terms of not watching but listening to the podcast and all that. So maybe do that.
Yeah, or listen to Talks with Jina, because we have some fun stuff to talk about.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Thank you so much for the feedback. I truly appreciate that. You know, now we're going to go talk about a little bit more in depth about what you do as a real estate agent.
Yes.
So do you think that it has become harder for an average family to, you know, be a family, like a homeowner at this?
Yes and no. There are certain aspects of life that things happen at. Yes. The economy isn't there, so the jobs aren't there, the income isn't there. The affordability, I think, if you look at the data in terms of throughout Canada, Edmonton probably is one of still the easiest and the best places to afford or start a family at, because the house prices are still affordable. There are still jobs available. I've never come across anybody that, you know, didn't have a job for too long. So it certainly has its charm in terms of starting, and I think that was probably the push when we came to Canada, where we settled in Edmonton. The jobs were there, the affordability was there. But yes, it certainly has become tougher. Be it the stress test on mortgage, be it the you know, just the economic factor and growth in Edmonton. Yeah, it is certainly tougher.
Yeah, and what do you think? Like with the, you know, we probably have to deal with a lot of applications and a lot of new buyers and things like that. Have you seen a trend? Is it becoming better and better in terms of the approval rate and things like that?
At the end of the day, it's a case-to-case basis. Depends on the person, depends on the family, what they're willing to do, what they're doing. When we come to Canada, we're not aware of these things, or as immigrants, or sometimes as we grow, we're not sure about the, you know, what we want to do in life, and we're not following these rules where we want to grow or get our, you know, the ratings up in terms of our, you know, credits and all that. So we have to be mindful. We have to, you know, maybe put that in the education system, or have some more meetings, or, you know, get people aware that, hey, in the long run, credit is where it really all depends. So you have to start building that at an early age. And nothing wrong with, you know, getting a credit card early, just being mindful that, hey, you're only using it to build the credit.
Yeah, of course. And like I was mentioning, like I started my you know, credit history very late. You know, I got my first credit card was when I was 18 years old. But we're gonna elaborate on that a little bit later, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there that would want to know a little bit more in depth on how they can go about doing it, and maybe you can help them with that. I was mentioning about how difficult it was for me to understand the importance of how you know, credit is very important. Now you want to buy a car, credit is looking at, or you want to buy a house, credit is very important. So at what age do you think, like, you know, it's good to start? And
Gina, I don't think you were late. I think coming out of high school, coming out of, you know, getting into college, 18 is probably the right age to, you know, kind of start building some credit. Let's assume you know, go to a college degree or some sort of diploma for a couple of years. If you do that mindfully, coming out of high school, you get a credit card and you build your credit card, and don't buy a car, okay? Car, you can buy it anytime. Credit rating doesn't have to be very high. So if you come out of college, come out of, you know, a university 2, 3, 4 years with a credit card that you've been continuously using and paying off. Getting a credit card doesn't mean you use it and don't pay it off.
Exactly.
Right? So you have to get a credit card, pay it off, make some payments. What it does, it builds your credit in terms of, hey, you have some credit and you're paying it off. So that's a basic start, and then once you want to do that, get professional help in terms of go see a mortgage specialist, come see me, come see anybody in the real estate industry. They'll teach you, they'll tell you things, they'll open up the avenues, hey, what you need to do, and they can do a credit check and tell you exactly where you stand and what you want to do. So there's no harm in talking to a professional, meeting with somebody, setting up an appointment at a bank, at a branch, whatever that is, that's convenient, that easy, that you think you're ready to, you know, kind of step up your game and get into this real estate market.
And you said, you know, come and see you. So when somebody, you know, is looking into building their credit and things like that, when they come to you, what should they expect? What kind of insight could you give?
So I can put them in touch with the right people. I can give them some feedback, give them some hits and tips, and kind of in terms of where they want to see themselves. Do they see themselves as an entrepreneur in real estate? Do they just want to do this for themselves as a family, own a home, or do they want to get into a rental market, buy a property, rent it out, and still live with their parents or whatever they are? So we could certainly set them up on that right path, or at least direct them which way they may be thinking, and then again put them in touch with the professionals in terms of mortgage brokers or somebody at the bank to build their credit or get a pre-approval done.
Oh, amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. That's very good to know, because when I was looking into getting my house, I absolutely had no idea. My brother had to go and actually do more in-depth search and things like that. I was just there to give him moral support, I guess.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
So it could be anybody. It doesn't have to be me. It could be your parent. You're somebody who knows somebody. Just get in touch. Just ask, right? So don't hesitate. And the internet is a very broad thing. There's a lot of things available. But what you want to do is you want to get still at the end of the day face to face with somebody. They can give you the real information that means something, and that is tailored to you, what you want to do, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that in and out about there, the social media, this and that, but you still want it tailored to you, that somebody who has the knowledge, who's done this, that can kind of put you on the right path.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And now we know, and I'm pretty sure most of our audience would know where to go. Mr. Nam will be definitely able to help you in certain areas of his expertise.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
amazing. When if I asked you this question, just answer to the best of your knowledge. Where do you think seeing housing market will be going, or would be at in say 3 to 5 years?
I wish I had a crystal ball. Everybody asks this question. At the end of the day, we're just experts with some history, some knowledge that we've gathered, and obviously reading the reports. I'd want to say that it's going to be great, but sometimes things don't turn out that way. Back 5, 10, maybe 15 years ago, every economy was small, every real estate market was small, but that's no longer the case. So the world has become a lot smaller place. So what happens in India, what happens in Pakistan, what happens in Brazil, what happens in US, what happens in China, what happens in Australia also impacts smaller cities like us. So it's all dependent upon which way the world is looking in terms of what's the production's going to be at, what the oil rate's going to be at, where people feel that it's safer. Canada in general is always a safe haven for real estate. The market is stable, the government is stable, there's always natural resources available. But yes, in 3 to 5 years, I certainly think it's going to be an upside. Looking forward, I don't, right now is a buyer's time. If you think you're going to get a better deal in 3 to 5 years, absolutely not. I think the market will be certainly hot. Buyer's market is right now, so you better buy something now.
You better come and see Mr. Nam right here. I completely agree with you. I think I did not know that you have to have such a broader scope of the world. And I was thinking just of knowing about the marketing, the communities and things like that. I did not know that it might have such a great impact.
Yes, I mean, you definitely, it's, bigger scope, right? You want to know what's happening outside of your sphere of, kind of where you are in the environment in terms of where the things are going to go in terms of, hey, mortgage rates are not dictated by Edmonton by any means. The stress test, right? So those are bigger things that are at national level, and obviously the oil rates and all that are international level. But at the end of the day, a realtor still has to know every single street, the market where he's working or she's working in terms of, hey, the Millwoods older area, the Summerside, the North Side, the Gilnora, the McConaughey. So you still have to know all those things in order to be able to help your clients the best that you can. So it's a mixture of both. Yeah.
And when your clients come to you, do they give you a preference of a community, or did you just come and say, Nam, help me out right here?
No, and that's what it is. Like, so it's day to day, person to person. You live in Millwoods, you work in Millwoods, your business is in Millwoods. Your kids or your family may be in around there, and that's what you want to focus on. And then obviously we decide on a budget and kind of figure that out. Hey, where you want to be. But sometimes if you're working in Sherwood Park, or if you're working, you're moving around all day. You don't care if you're working in downtown. You don't care. So for them, it's more of, hey, they want to find the right house, not necessarily a particular property in a particular community. They just want to get the best deal because they're traveling anyways. But sometimes people will be like, hey, I want to live in the woods because I grew up here, I'm working here, my kids are here, my family's here. So it really depends. And we can lead them that way depending on, what they want to do.
I'm just going to ask you a fun question. Sometimes, people, they want to live in a certain area, but they have a certain budget. Like, is it according to communities where you see a budgeting of a house, or could that be like variable in different communities?
It is variable. If you wanted to live in Windermere, you can find a house in Windermere for $200,000. Yeah, it's a condo, it's a townhome, but absolutely, that's the best thing about living in a smaller city. The guidelines are controlled, the bylaws from the city of Edmonton, they make communities affordable for all sorts of people, right? So this isn't limited, hey, in the Windermere you gotta buy $1 million house, or hey, in Millwoods you can't build $1 million house. So you could go live in Windermere and you could buy a $250,000 townhome or an apartment condo for $150,000, certainly, yes. So you could do that.
Oh, that's amazing, because when I look at some areas, it looks like so high fashion and like so high end. I'm like, am I allowed to go even walk in that alley or something like that?
No, absolutely not. But certainly, obviously, if you wanted to now live downtown, obviously it's expensive. It's just that the taxes are more, the condo fees are more because you're living in a high-rise building versus living in a townhome that is only 4-story or a complex.
Okay. So at the end of the day, you can
live anywhere in Edmonton as long as you're willing to buy a house.
We can walk in those alleys. Let's go do it. How did you get into real estate business? Is it something you always wanted to do, or did you have something else in the background?
No, my background is business management. That's where my studies were, and I did accounting. But at my previous job, I was a project controller. So I did industrial construction management. Basically, it's similar to, think about building a house, but on a bigger scale. So worked with a big industrial company. Project controller for 10 years, so did all the nitty-gritty. Obviously dollars were bigger, there were billions of dollars projects. Enjoyed the construction part of it, enjoyed the forecasting, enjoyed the budgeting of it, and then just loved meeting people. Got into construction, building houses and residential, built a few homes for a couple of years, and then thought, hey, this is something I want to do. Got my real estate license, so building homes, and then just meeting people and helping them out, making their dreams come true. Getting them into the homes, helping families out, start their path in Canada or wherever it is. So it kind of just led me off, and then this is where we are today.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Sometimes I think even from your background, those things kind of helped you out where you ended today, right?
Yes. Yeah.
It gave you a lot of scope about the construction and things like that. So that's great.
Yes, for sure.
Do you have any other things that you do aside being a real estate agent?
Yes, I love sports. I watch all types of sports, but I usually play soccer. So I coach soccer now. Both of my kids are playing soccer, so I coach them. And I still play. So that's if I'm not selling a house, I'm probably with the soccer ball somewhere on the field kicking it or coaching the kids.
That's amazing. So you also coach the community soccer team?
That's right. So I coach a club soccer team, Scottish U10 boys. My older son plays for Scottish, so I coach there. And then my younger son, he's only 4 years old, but he's also at the Scottish Academy, so that's where he plays. And I've been associated with the Punjab United team since I came to Canada. So I play with the men's team at Pusha at the Punjab United. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Then you and I should one day have a match with a girls team, because I love soccer as well.
Good. It's sometimes the weather doesn't help, so we do play indoor. But yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah, that's amazing. So when it comes to different hobbies and things like that, so soccer being one, is there something that people don't know normally about you but you love doing?
I think I'm pretty open. People know me. I'm on social media quite a bit. Even when I travel, I love traveling. I love driving. If I could drive places, I would drive, but sometimes you can't drive places, so you have to fly. I love traveling, but it's people know me. It's sports. athletics and traveling and real estate.
Oh wow! So you just encompass everything in one.
I try to. I try to. Yeah.
Yeah, being a parent as well. So being a parent and having a well-balanced life, how do you do it?
It's time management. Learned it early on. Even when I was going to high school, going to college, I had a full-time job. I was playing soccer. Was going to college. So it's time management, and you have to do it. You have to take the time out, either to spend time with the family or play soccer or sports or whatever it is that you enjoy. It could be playing board games, whatever it is. So you have to do that, otherwise you'll get burned out. Yeah,
for sure. And if I were to ask you, if somebody's really interested to get into the real estate or being a retailer, what kind of advice would you give them to be a starter point for them?
It's I don't want to say it's easy, but it's like anything. If you want to pursue it, if you want to get into it, absolutely get in touch with me. Yeah. I can tell you exactly. There's no you don't have to get involved with me. There's RECA is the licensing authority in Alberta, which is obviously mandated by the national authority. So you have to get licensed with them. There's a course to do, so you can go online, look that up, or you can give me a call and I can direct you a certain way. Or if you want to be a appraiser, if you want to be a mortgage broker, if you want to be a real estate agent, certainly the information's available. Self-studies, or you can go to college. It's pretty easy. Yeah.
And one of the degrees or something like that you think would be an asset to having one, which degree would that be?
Education is always important. I think even when you become a business person, sometimes you fumble or stumble upon these things that they lead you a certain way. But education is always important. If something doesn't work out, you can always go back and get a job, be it accounting, be it medicine, be it whatever it is that you're doing, financials, marketing. So any education is good.
Yeah.
You can, as long as you got the scope of things to do, you don't have to be a business management person to do a realtor. You could be a marketing person, you could be a financials person, you could be a construction person. So people in real estate are from all sorts of backgrounds. So yeah, anything will work.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you guys don't have to limit yourself. Just go and pursue your passion, and next thing you know, you'll be like shoulder to shoulder with Mr. Nam right here.
No, for sure,
right?
definitely.
So I just want to know, some of my friends who are looking to buy a house, and I'm certainly not the person to ask any kind of questions. So what kind of advice or anything that you have for first-time buyers? What should they be looking into, even stepping into the idea of getting a house?
Like we talked about earlier, the first thing you would want to do is make sure you go talk to a banker, a mortgage broker. It doesn't have to be with the bank. You can talk to Dominion Landing, ICM. There's lots of sorts of mortgage brokers available out there, or you can just go to a branch that you use for your banking day to day. Ask them, hey, I'm looking to get into real estate in terms of buying something. They'll set you up. They'll tell you exactly where you stand. That's called pre-approval. So you want to get a pre-approval, or at least some sort of idea of what your budget is and what you can want to buy. So you could be approved for $500,000, $600,000. Then you have to decide that, hey, do you want to take that burden on?
Yeah.
Do you want to buy just a starter home for $300,000 versus expanding yourself and buying a $600,000 right out the door? So then that's the second part, and then it makes my job easier, or it makes helping you easier, because then I know, hey, this is your budget, this is you're already pre-approved for, let's go now find you the right property in terms of the community, in terms of the locality, in terms of what fits your current mode. Are you married, or do you have kids? Are you living with parents? Are you just a single person? So then we can help. So number one step would be getting a pre-approval, talking to a professional that can help you with the mortgage. Yeah.
And I hear a lot of my friends are really concerned about nowadays, there's an app that's available. You take a look at your credit score and things like that. They're becoming very conscious of that. Is there a specific credit score that you have to look into before stepping into getting a house, or even do a pre-approval?
Yeah, so your credit score should be in upwards of 600 plus. And again, if you talk to the right person, if you talk to a mortgage broker, or get in touch with me, and I'll put you in touch with the right people that can lead you, that can let you know exactly where you stand. And then they can pull up your credit history. So So if there are some things that they can do in the short term, in 2, 3, 4 months, they can help you. Hey, let's do this, and then you'll be at this credit score, and we can help you do that. So by the time we search for the house, look for it, and then the mortgage works in hand to hand with the credit, we can get that done.
Wow, that's amazing. I wish I had met you before.
Thank you.
Before, or maybe, because I was no such of a help with my brother. So I think I could be, what I'm doing right here is not only helping, myself with getting more knowledge.
Yes.
And then, but also helping a lot of my audience that probably has the same questions that I did.
No, for
it's
sure.
amazing
yes.
that you have such a nice comeback to it and saying that we're always there. You just have to come and reach us, right?
That's right. That's right.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
On the other hand, what are some pointers you would give to first-time sellers? Because we always talk about buying, but there's also
So it's sellers. It's sometimes what people get into this mindset. Hey, my house is the best, right? Or I bought this for that much. I gotta sell it for this much. No, what you have to do is you have to treat the house as an asset, right? So think about it. If you're driving a car, you can't just run it and ding it and scratch it and get it dirty. So, but even you do. So that happens, that's fine. You want to live in there, you want to use it, you have kids, you have older parents or somebody living with you, you have family come over, you have friends come over, so which is fine. What you have to do is you have to maintain it.
Of
so,
course.
So small things go a long ways, getting your furnace clean, getting your water tank clean, making sure the sump pump is working, or making sure the utilities that in terms of the appliances that you're using, the fireplace, whatever that is, right? Or the shingles, or cleaning the snow, not letting it sit or not putting salt on it too much. So those things really matter, and at the end of the day, then you have to maintain it. The carpet, the flooring, the kitchen, the countertops, all those things come into play. So you have to kind of watch for it, keep it, kind of tidy in terms of not just throwing it away, because otherwise it won't sell.
Yeah, for sure. You have to look at some of the facts that, of course, there's a normal wear and tear,
which is going to happen, right? So if let's assume a wear and tear happens on a door, on a toilet, on a tap, don't let it leak, because what happens is it keeps on leaking. Number one, it's costing you money,
of course,
with water and the bill and all that, but it also damages the sink, the plumbing and all that, and the woods and the flooring. So don't let it happen, because that $100 to fix is a big return on your money versus wasting it on the bills and not selling your house because it has been damaged.
I like the fact that you're putting it so simply, right? Maybe if it's a small leak, if you just like, it's my own house,
it's just one drop a minute, but at the end of the day, it all amounts to things. Small things, add up to a big thing in over 5, 10, 20 years.
So don't procrastinate, guys. Take care of all the leaks. All right, so we're just gonna, want to know, like, you're such an incredible person to talk to with regards to buying, selling houses. You have such an incredible insight. Would you be able to share where can our people who wants to reach you, how can they reach you? How are you available?
So you can easiest thing is my cell phone number. Reach me, text me, call me. It's 780-267-1300. If you want to read up all the stuff about buying and selling, you can go to my website, www.namkular.com. Has all the listings, it has all the details of prepping you as a first-time buyer, first-time seller, or even a second-time buyer or second-time seller if you're looking to upgrade or downgrade. So all that information is there. Just text me, call me. I'm always available, and we'll try to get back to you as soon as I can.
Oh, no problem, for sure. I'm pretty sure I will send some of my friends on your way as well.
Thank you.
And guys, don't worry if you didn't get it down. We will definitely have his information, all the contact information available on our website. So no worries, you're in safe hands. We know where to find Mr. Namkular. So now we're just gonna, take the show into a more fun vibe right here. I'm just going to ask you one word. And I'm just going to have a list of like 5 words. And when I ask you one word that just comes into your mind, or a thought comes to your mind, you just blurt it out for me.
Sure,
okay?
sure, let's try.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you guys ready? All right, so business.
Management.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mortgage.
Pre-approval.
Nice. I like that. Customer.
A need and demand.
Nice.
Yeah.
Edmonton.
Family, home, wife.
Amazing. And home.
Home is Edmonton. Oilers, community, kids, soccer.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
amazing. We have an Oiler fan right here. Woo woo.
Yes.
Okay, I have this pen and paper in my hand, and so does Mr. Nam right here.
Yes. I'm
And
not sure
because
yet what we're doing with it, but we do have
You're
it.
gonna find out shortly.
Okay.
We're gonna do something fun. I'm gonna ask you to draw what is a dream house for you, and I'm just gonna scribble something because I'm not a sketch artist right here, and I'm not trying to be.
And see, I said education. You can always fall back. This is my grade 3 drawing. Okay, so this is where we're gonna go back to grade 3. Draw my dream house.
Yeah, I'm gonna be back into kindergarten, guys.
But
So
like I said, go to a professional. Go to an architect. They will design. They will help you with the design of the house.
Yeah, I
Yes.
probably like show up to the person's house and or like the office. I'll be like, "This is my dream house," and the guy will be like, "Okay, let me make." It's their job. Okay, so we just.
How long do we get? 2 days?
I'll give you. How about less than a minute?
Uh-oh.
All right,
Uh-oh.
your time starts now.
Wow. This is.
I don't know how we are doing in time, but I'm like just squiggling things, and guys are gonna have a very good laugh. Because you're probably thinking like that's even below kindergarten, right?
This is worse than grade 3.
Yeah.
My 4-year-old son probably can draw better.
Oh yeah. I was like an artist when I was a kid. Now I'm like, oh my god, I'm struggling to even draw a piece of leaf or something like that.
Man, all those art classes I took, hey, came in handy.
Oh my, I wish I could say that.
I've got a bad handwriting, so that relates here. This is how.
Okay, I think I got it. You want to show first? Oh boy. Can I not show mine?
No, come on.
Okay,
probably.
now we have to show it to the.
So this is a. It's not much of a house. It's more of a cabin. Because
Yeah.
I'm an outdoors kind of a guy. I
Nice.
would love to be on an acreage with lots of trees. The house doesn't have to be as big.
Yes.
Okay, that's my dream house. There has to be more land. There has to be more trees I can run around. I don't have to go to soccer field. I can just play soccer.
Yes.
In the backyard.
For sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love environment. I love greenery. But my dream house. This is not a dream house. Please, whoever's gonna sketch my house, don't go off with this picture. Just I love balcony. I love the pond. I need to see a little bit of greenery, but I like that balcony view. And I always dream to have a pond, a beautiful pond with greenery right in front of my house. It's a little bit more that Bollywood vibe.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Where do we find a house like that?
Summerside, big lake out in West End. There's ravine lots with ponds here in Charlesworth. There's even walkout lots in Laurel with the pond at the back with balconies. Windermere. So there's areas available. So that's why I say, don't ever think that, hey, I can't find the right house. Just gotta talk, gotta ask the right questions, and then we can lead you the right way and find you the perfect home.
We've got to come to Mr. Kular right here to find everything that we need. And that's it for our program today. And I just can't believe how much information I came to know. And I'm pretty sure all my audience is just appreciating as much as I do. Thank you so much for taking your time from your busy schedule and
problem.
coming and meeting us and giving all that great insight into
Thank you for
the
having me.
real
Appreciate
estate.
it. Thank you.
Pleasure. So audiences, my lovely audiences, thank you so much for joining us yet again. And we're going to be back with next week with another amazing personality. And just stay tuned in Star TV Canada.